2 Corinthians 4 verse 7 says that we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. The treasure of the good news of Jesus is that there is hope. We celebrate resurrection power, that Jesus conquered death. He rose from the dead, giving us hope beyond life in this world. This future hope that one day we will rise with Jesus, that we will have life beyond the grave, is a present reality for us as believers in Jesus, because we have a treasure. We have something more valuable than anything in this world. We have hope, we have joy, we have a full life because we have found purpose in the hope that Jesus offers. And we're told that we have this treasure in jars of clay. Now, jars of clay are ordinary jars. They're Corelle dishes. They are not your grandmother's china. They are not a steel enforced mixing bowl. They are cracked, they are rugged, they experience wear and tear from everyday use. That is what we hold the treasure in. I'm thankful for this image that 2 Corinthians reminds us of, that we hold the most valuable treasure in all the world in ordinary cracked vessels. We have nothing special to show to the world. As Christians, we still experience the wear and tear of everyday life. We still experience the grind of Monday mornings. We still experience the exhaustion of Friday afternoons. We still feel the painful and anxious realities of unknowns, of disease and brokenness and pain. We still feel the hurt of broken relationships. As Christians, we don't claim that our experience of the painful realities of this world are any different from anyone else. But what we do claim is that we hold a treasure in jars of clay. You see, we are all ordinary vessels, but we have a treasure. We have hope. We have the treasure of hope in Jesus. We have the power of the resurrection living within us. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 7 reminds us that we live between two resurrections. In the past, Jesus rose from the dead. It is a physical reality that Jesus conquered the grave, that he defeated death. And he rose and ascended into heaven and sits at the right hand of the Father. And we also believe that in the future, Jesus will return, that he will raise us from the dead, giving us the future hope of resurrection. And we live between these two resurrections. And in this period, we live with the reality that death is conquered, but also the reality that death still exists. And so we feel the brokenness of the world around us. We still experience hurt. We still experience pain and disease. We still experience broken relationships. And Paul describes this in 2 Corinthians as we are simply jars of clay. We're ordinary vessels. Though we have a treasure, we have the treasure of hope, of the power that Jesus conquers death. We still feel the reality of death in this world. It is here that we find a most magnificent reality, is that though we have this treasure in jars of clay, there's a purpose behind that. Because God wants to show, in the midst of our brokenness, in the midst of the wear and tear that we feel in this world, He wants to show that the power of hope, that the power of joy, that the power of life we experience through our faith in Jesus, that power doesn't belong to us, but it belongs to God. And that is an amazing reality, is that we carry around this treasure in bodies that feel hurt and pain, but that is simply to show that as we have hope in the midst of pain, as we have joy in the midst of suffering, the world can look at us and see that the power isn't coming from us, but it's coming from God. And so 2 Corinthians 4 verse 7 has been a great reminder to me as I live between two resurrections, that there is purpose beyond the pain of this broken world. That God is able to take the most hard and hurtful experiences of our life, and He's able to redeem them for good, and to show that the surpassing power belongs to Him and not to me. So whatever you're walking through today, whatever pain or wear and tear, whatever anxiety or exhaustion you may be experiencing, may those things simply remind you that you are a jar of clay. And if you have put your hope in Jesus, you carry in that jar a treasure that far outweighs any bitter experience of death in this world. And as you carry that treasure, may you be reminded today that the power of the hope of the resurrection belongs to God and not